It looks like the weather finally cooperated and it was a great day for golf. I love golf. I played 4 times a week. I gave it up twice, but I had a pro, Mike Kucera, maybe some of you know him, who took me on as a project, and I learned to love it all over again. I had new clubs on order when I discovered I couldn't play anymore. Many of you are already informed about ALS. You know people with ALS, or you've known people who have died of ALS. I am privileged to share with you my story. 2 to 5 years. That's not a long time to live, but it is a long time to be dying. For me, the anguish of knowing that I will die prematurely is amplified by the horror of understanding just how I will die. The process will be slow and gradual. In fact, it has already begun. I am dying from the inside out. My body will become progressively unresponsive, while my mind and spirit remain alive and vibrant. I dread becoming frozen in a wheelchair, unable to move, completely dependent upon others, talking only with my eyes through a computer, yet still fully aware. I used to be pretty much like any one of you, a spouse, a parent, working away at my career. Most recently, I was teaching nursing at Russell Sage. I've been a golfer, a tennis player, a gardener, and a community volunteer. I was getting ready for the next stage of my life, looking forward to what many of the things I expect you were looking forward to. Retirement, lots of golf, maybe some grandchildren in the future. After all, I had always been a health-conscious, able-bodied, and active person. But ALS is indiscriminate. There is no way to predict who will get it, or when, or why. It's like I was struck by lightning when I wasn't even out in the rain. A lot has changed in the years since I was diagnosed with ALS. Now, I can walk only a few steps without assistance. I have orthotic braces on both legs to keep me from tripping on my own toes. I need a walker to get around my house, and now I have a scooter. I cannot use a bathroom that does not have accommodations, and I cannot stand long enough to brush my teeth. I do golf courses and tennis courts only as a spectator. Golf used to be a big part of my life, and I miss it. I really miss just plain walking. Suddenly, in the prime of my life, I have lost my independence. I'm unable to continue my career as a nurse. I cannot do housework nor run errands. I make recordings of my voice in anticipation of when I will eventually lose my ability to speak. I cannot visit my children because I can't manage stairs. Regretfully, I cannot expect to live long enough to meet my grandchildren. And I am one of the lucky ones. So far, the disease is only affecting my legs. I still have use of my hands, my arms, and my voice. But I know I will lose the use of those too. As a nurse, I fully understand what lies ahead. Some who began their symptoms at the same time that mine began are already dead. I am considered a slow progressor. The typical ALS victim lives 2 to 5 years, averaging 1,100 days. Most of us don't count our lives in days. a small percentage manages to live 10 years. I assure you that I am trying very hard to be in that small group. Perhaps I will be able to live long enough to see a medical breakthrough. ALS has no known cause, no cure, and not even an effective treatment. Little progress has been made in treating ALS since Lou Gehrig first brought it into our vernacular with his famous speech at Yankee Stadium. That was in 1939, 74 years ago. That is shameful. Look at the progress that medical research has made in the fight against other deadly diseases in that span of time. Breast cancer, colon cancer, TB, HIV, heart disease, leukemia, and the list goes on and on. As was said before Congress, ALS is not incurable. It is underfunded. It's time to make ALS a health care priority. It is through events such as this one today that progress can be made. Families such as the Daly family and the Michaels family have backed the ALS Open for over 20 years. That is quite a commitment. Their unwavering support helps to enable the St Peters ALS Center to accomplish its mission. About 100 PALS, persons with ALS, are treated at this center at any point in time. Our faces change, but our needs remain the same. We receive medical and nursing care at the center, occupational therapy, physical therapy, and speech therapy. We are given equipment to help us adapt to our changing bodies and our decreasing abilities. And we receive comfort and emotional support from the very dedicated staff. A heartfelt thank you to you. "5,600 people are diagnosed with ALS each year in the U.S. An equal number of us die each year. And we lose the use of our feet, our hands, and our voices before we die, which hinders our abilities to advocate. The cruel truth is, we simply cannot live long enough to make an impact on the system. And there are no survivors. If we could channel your talents and abilities, we could make a difference. But we need you, each and every one of you. We need the power of the community pulling together, power to increase public awareness, to advocate, and to raise money for research. It's time to have ALS survivors. I would like to share with you an excerpt from my personal journal that I wrote shortly after my diagnosis last summer. I call it The Baby Wildebeest. Years ago, I watched a program on Animal Planet that touched me so deeply I still remember it vividly. Somewhere in Africa, a large herd of wildebeest was grazing on the plains. Stealthily, a pride of lionesses approached, hunting for their food. In the blink of an eye, the lions bolted and charged towards the wildebeest. The herd ran en masse. The lions quickly and skillfully cut off a young wildebeest from the herd. the calf ran frantically back and forth, his panic evident. This painful dance of the calf and the pursuing lionesses went on for several long moments. But the end point was never in question. Inevitably, the baby wildebeest ran out of energy and couldn't run another step. Calmly accepting his fate, he stopped in the middle of the field, folded his legs under him, and knelt down. He then waited for the lions to come and eat him. It still makes me sad. Acquiescence. I am unable to accept my fate as the calf did his. I cannot be that baby wildebeest. I will fight, although I am fighting a predator as deadly and surely as successful as those lions. Though the end is not in question, I am unable to simply accept it. I will not fold my legs under me and wait to be consumed by my predator. I want you all to know that I am still living my life. It's not the life I expected or planned for, but it's the only life I have. It is my life. I have many friends, much support, and lots of hope. At the moment, I seem to function pretty well as long as I'm sitting. However, that does leave out a lot of life that involves moving. And there's the harsh reality that I know is inevitable. Although that never goes away, I choose not to dwell on it. I do have now, today. And that is really all any of us have. Living in the present is not as easy as it sounds, but it has many rewards. The past is a memory, the future a dream, the present is reality. Today has been a very good day. For that, I heartily thank all of you.